I wonder if there's a place on this globe where you retards are not pushing socialism. Is there a place? You know, the only way you can finance yourselves is through the labor and ingenuity of capitalism. That is, unless the government was a totalitarian dictatorship such as the former Soviet Union or Cuba, in which case we would either be hungry and in jail or hungry and on the street. Capitalism is ownership of the means to produce wealth, to produce goods and services. It works, but it's doomed to fail because it creates prosperity and security, and human beings cannot handle prosperity and security. Human beings require a challenge. We require a certain amount of stress. Otherwise, we grow soft, apathetic, and indifferent, which leaves us wide open to an attack by any aggressor more determined than we are. The socialists are such an aggressor. They have infiltrated our country, our schools, our media, our political system, and we don't care. We don't care. If I talked about crabgrass, I would have a more interested audience. But I'm talking about responsibility, and nobody wants to hear about responsibility. Most of you have never heard of the Great Depression. This was a time in world history, but especially in the West, when our economic system had a glitch and people were out of work because nobody was buying anything. If nobody is buying anything, then they don't need workers. And if nobody is working, nobody has any pay. And if nobody has any pay, they can't afford to buy anything. And if you're a small businessman and you had 5 workers, you lay off a worker and you lay off another worker, and eventually it's just you. And those workers that you laid off don't know what to do. This was the Great Depression. You can't imagine such a thing. My parents went through it. People that experienced the Great Depression were affected by it. It made an impression on them. The Federal Reserve Board, the central banking system, was set up to prevent such an event from ever happening in the United States again.